Hi guys. My name is Emily. If you don't know me, yeah, I'm Emily. I have a channel, I guess you can say, but I never really post on it. I've only posted like 4 videos, if that. I don't even know. But yeah, this has been a long-awaited video just because when I started my channel, I was expecting something big to happen in my life, and it was something that would change my life forever. So to put this all in perspective, sorry, I'm just like kind of nervous, but to put this all in perspective, when I was 6 years old, I went over to my grandparents' house, and let's just say I love my Nana and Papa, and I would always go up to them, hug them, but on this one particular day, I ran up to my Papa, gave him a hug, told him I loved him, and then ran to play with Barbie dolls, because that's what you do at Nana's and Papa's house when you're 6 years old. So I did that, and after I got into the room, or when I was running off to go to the playroom, my mom called to me and said, "Hey, you're being really disrespectful. Papa's talking to you." And it was something that I didn't know about because I did not hear him. And it was then I was kind of mind boggled because obviously I didn't hear him. And my mom and Nana were both puzzled, but kind of figured things out, because when I was younger I had anger issues, you can say, and I literally, sorry about the lighting, but it doesn't matter because I want to get this message out. It was something that they were just shocked about because I had been really disobedient when I was younger, and don't get me wrong, I was still disobedient up till decent age. But I didn't know I was any different than any other kid because I had been born differently. But it's how I knew life. Yeah. So I went to get my ears checked, and after doing so, they found that I had hearing loss, which, I mean, it's common, but not for young ones. Since then, well, when I found out about the hearing loss, I was in first grade, and so they changed everything in my classroom. And they padded chairs, put carpets on the floor so that there wasn't a lot of extra noise. And then they put a surround sound system in there. Well, I had a surround sound system till I was in 5th grade, and then when I hit middle school, I had what was it called? An FM system that it was a hearing device. And so I wore that. But then my grades went down because I couldn't hear. And so I started homeschooling. And then in high school, I took a couple classes through the public schools, but still homeschooled. Well, things were difficult my freshman year because people didn't believe me about my hearing loss until I was like, "Hey, I legitimately cannot hear you." And I talked to my teachers and was like, "Hey, can I just let the class know, can't always hear, so please get my attention." But it was in high school. Well, no, okay, I'm gonna backtrack now, sorry. When I was 12, I got a new doctor, and my new doctor was really ignorant and didn't do all the proper testing that they could have done, and didn't do nerve testing, only did voice and tones. And so for the tones, I failed, but then for the voice, this particular audiologist was a female, and I could hear female voices pretty well still. And so I was able to pass that test with flying colors, but the tone test I did not pass. And then, like I said, the nerve test didn't do. And so she just came to the conclusion that because I could understand what she was saying, that I was faking with all of it. And of course, I was upset because I could not understand my grandpa, my papa, a majority of the time. Like, unless they would put their voices high. And I'm sorry if this seems like I'm ranting. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to get a point across. But it's something that I haven't publicly spoken about, and I really wish I had before, because there's such a really big deaf and hard of hearing community, and they're all so supportive of each other. And I was adopted into that when I was 6.5 years old, almost 7. And since then, like, from the time I was 7 to 15, I went to this amazing camp for deaf and hard of hearing kids. Well, that's the week I went to, was for kids with different abilities. But I went there from the time I was 7 to 15 and met some of my best friends there. And it's just really cool because they're all just so supportive. And I never had that before. I felt totally normal there because I wasn't any different. And then when I got to high school, it was really hard because there were people that didn't believe me. And then, like I said, my doctor had denied me, said I was faking. So my dear mother, had requested different referrals to go down to a different doctor. And so after finally getting that, after 4 years, after 4 years, I mean, obviously we were a little disappointed that it took so long. I went down to a state hospital and they checked everything, and since from the time I was 12 to the time I was 16, I had gone completely deaf in my ear, my left ear. And I knew that. I knew it personally because I couldn't hear. And people I knew, like, around me, they knew that too, because they'd try to scare me and they'd come on my left side. I'm like, ew, what's that breath? You know, like, I only felt a breath if they tried to whisper in my ear. And so I'm like, oh, that's gross. But on a serious note, I couldn't hear them, and they knew that. And so they knew if they wanted to try and scare me, either just like, or do it on my right side, because I could still hear on my right side. And so I got my testing done there. They found that out. They were just raged with anger when they found out that I was denied at my local hospital. But yeah, they got me fitted for hearing aids, and everything was all set except for the insurance. It didn't cover anything. And so I had gone 16 years without hearing aids. Needless to say, it was really difficult. And even then, like, I didn't know any different. So that was the only nice part. But I had already gotten a job, and like, my first job was serving, and sometimes people would get upset with me because I didn't hear them, or when repeating back what they had ordered, maybe I heard something wrong, and so then they were upset. And then other times people would joke around and be like, oh, you need hearing aids. And I mean, this was older people, they didn't know better. So I'm like, yeah, I really can't hear, you know. And they thought I was joking at first, but now I can say, after 2.5 more years, I finally have hearing aids. And I can hear. And it's the most beautiful thing ever. My dad put in extra hours. My mom had a job for a while. I don't know if that impacted it, but I think it did. But it impacted our spending, our normal spending, so that my dad could put more aside towards these hearing aids. And I got them right before Christmas, and it's been the most beautiful thing. I got my ears tested right before getting them, and then I got them fitted. And the crazy thing was, the only thing that was different with my hearing test from 2017 to now, was there's just slightly more loss. And yeah, I mean, it's just the way I've lived all my life, and I didn't know any different, again, like I said. And it hurts to know that some people can be really arrogant or ignorant when it comes to someone having a different ability than their own, and especially at such a young age. But I just wanted to let you guys know that, like, there were things that I couldn't hear before that I now can hear. Like, I can hear cars going by, I can hear helicopters, I can now hear thunder, which I don't like at all, or fireworks. Oh, don't get me started on fireworks. I do not like the sound of them. But it's just crazy. I can hear bullfrogs too, crickets, just different things. Oh, and guys, the first thing I did when I got my hearing aids, I listened to the cello, the unaccompanied cello, and it was so beautiful. And to the bass, I can now hear, and it's just really cool because there's different songs that I listened to before I had hearing aids, and I didn't hear every note or just just everything that went into the music, and it's so beautiful. And it just makes me, it makes me so happy to be able to hear, because I know not everyone can. And I know sometimes, like with some people, hearing aids don't even help. And it's crazy to think that I went so long without having them. But I am so blessed, and I thank my parents for them. And I thank God for doctors and giving them the knowledge to make this technology. It's just wonderful. So now you guys know it. I mean, it wasn't a secret, but something that I never spoke publicly about. But I am deaf. I am legally deaf. I mean, I can hear a little bit out of my right ear, but now I have these beautiful little hearing aids. I'll show you. Oh. Yeah, just these. The crazy thing is, I never used to be able to hear my voice, and now I can hear my voice, and it's something that I used to be very self-conscious about. But now that I can hear my voice, I really love it. I really do, and it's a beautiful voice. I mean, it might not be the most beautiful voice, but to me, it's a beautiful voice. And I mean, not all deaf people can speak. And that's one thing. Don't have that misconception that all deaf people are mute, because not all of them are mute, but a lot are, and I am so blessed to be able to speak. So yeah, here you guys go. I'm not going to edit this at all, because I want it to be real. I want to be real with you guys. I want to be more vulnerable, but in a good way. In a way that I can share my testimony, because my testimony, if it's left unsaid, who's it going to help? And I'm not trying to give myself glory, but God has given me this testimony, and God has been there with me all along. So here you guys go. Sorry if I can't speak. Sorry if I'm a little awkward or whatever, but yeah. I love you guys, and thank you for being my friends and family. And thank you, Mom and Dad, for being able to save for my hearing aids. I don't know how I went 18 and a half years without them, but yeah, it's the best gift ever. So thank you. I love you guys, and I thank God for them. So yeah.